everybody? Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. Let's welcome in, because he is back on the scene regularly like he never left, James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hey. Thank you for having me. Hey, everyone. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my girl's channel. She does a lot of great content, and I am so happy to be back with her. I'm so happy to be back on YouTube in general. I just told my mama, I'm back on YouTube, mama, and she's like, well, good. Get back out there.
Does she watch your lives?
Hell no.
You know what? My dad, I learned that he watched one because he called me to have a random deep conversation. Yes, Savior Charles, I'm busting you out about something that I think it was when Spice called Erica Mena a monkey.
So, okay. Yeah.
And he was like, it's good you guys had the difficult conversations. Now my dad watches Love and Hip Hop. So that, yeah.
So interestingly enough, my dad used to watch us.
That doesn't surprise me.
My dad would watch us all the time, and there was a moment, oh my goodness, I don't know what I mentioned about my dad, but he got really upset about it. And he goes, James, I don't want you to mention certain things about me, and that was one of them. And I was like, oh, okay, Dad, I didn't really, because my dad's, Larissa, so he was very sensitive to certain topics. I think it has something to do with his ethnicity. Like, you know how my dad was white, for those of you who do not know, my dad's white, but my dad never identifiably felt white. He always said he was black. My dad will tell you he was black, but identifiably, and if you looked at my dad, he does not look black at all. So it was one of those situations where I'm like, okay, well, Dad, look, it's not that serious. So yeah, he didn't see, but the world will know. I said, well, they don't see you, so that's fine.
Hello to you, Kevin Reynolds. It's Saturday, right? I'm not usually live Saturday, but it makes sense. James and myself both have a lot of shows that are airing on Friday night, Saturday night. So weekend lives, hell, we have time. I went outside. Now I'm back inside, and we're going to do what we do. But this episode of Housewives of Miami was The Art of Arguing. I don't quite understand why they called it that, because in my opinion, there wasn't too much arguing. But let's just get into the episode. Not much happened. We probably won't be here long. Kiki's dad gets to watch her model. He was surprised that she had on clothes. For those who don't know, Haitians, Africans, I think a lot of just different Black cultures, they view modeling as something explicit. I don't think it's really the modeling they view that way. I think it's more so the American culture attached to modeling, because we're more risque compared to other places. But I guess her dad is proud of her. It was a sweet moment. I won't take that from Kiki. However, it gave friend of. You have dragged this shit for 16 episodes, Kiki. And I get it, but I feel like on the topic of her family and what she went through with her dad, it's real, it's unfortunate, and I respect her for overcoming it. I genuinely do. But I don't want to hear about it constantly. I want to see you parenting your kid in your house. I want to see you dating. I want to see you navigating those things. I feel like she's leaning into her dad and her family stuff for a storyline, and it's just not that interesting to me. I don't know. It's just me. James?
Well, here's the thing. Not saying the situations are similar. I'm not saying that. So when I've mentioned this, people do not bite my head off. But here's the thing. This sentiment has already been done by Chanel Ayan. So when we think, and Chanel Ayan is a main cast member of Real Housewives of Dubai, formerly, that shows on this channel. But that's already been done. I don't really care for housewives who already do similar traditional storylines. Like, if it's already been done, I don't want to see it again. Because going through that with Chanel Ayan and her story and everything that she did, it was kind of like, okay, that was draining because I felt for her in a moment, and then it made sense to why she is the way it is. And I want to resonate that with Kiki, but like you said, Kiki's only a friend of the show. So unfortunately, it's not one of those situations where I'm like, okay, you're already someone who's not a main cast member, and then this dreadful situation of your past and how you grew up and everything of your life has kind of already been done by someone of a different, breed of Black. So it's like, I just don't have it. bandwidth with Kiki.
Things where he's trying to say, I don't think anyone will bite your head over that. I think we keep seeing this. There's a lot of recycled storylines across every reality show and every network. And that's kind of what it's giving. It's nice that Kiki is shedding light and teaching us about Haitian culture, but show me some more of the positives about it, like the good food, what they overcame. Talk about, you know, some of what's going on over there. I don't need to see this constantly from the family, but I also, you know, Kiki's beautiful, but she one of them girls I just want to look at. I don't really need much more than that, but let me catch the comments, y'all, because I see y'all and you will all be acknowledged. Kevin Reynolds, good to see you both on camera. I know, I'm trying, you guys. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Just come on camera. No makeup, just how I am in my daily. And let's chat. So, yes, I'm trying. My husband's also helping with the equipment, so shout out to Mr. Best. Kevin Reynolds said Kiki's dad is now reappearing for the money. Yep, I kind of agree too. I'm just saying, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, he benefits a lot. I mean, of course, that's her father, so I do feel like he cares about her, but I do feel like there's other motives for him to want to be on camera and suddenly willing to let go of what she's been describing as cultural beliefs just so he could be on the show. So there are some red flags there. Jesse, welcome in, welcome in. Nice to meet you and see you. Checking in, never seen y'all, but let me say I'm an Adriana stan. Even though she can be wrong, her storyline is more interesting than half of the Housewives. Jesse, we agree with you on the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I know Adriana can be annoying from like previous seasons, but her annoying isn't an annoying for me that sticks. I like her. She keeps it real. She's fun. She's not afraid of a drink. She keeps her man on speed dial. And again, she will hold each of these bitches to accountable. She not kissing nobody's ass. And I love Adriana. I do.
So where I stand with Adriana is there are times I like her, but unfortunately on this episode, I am not here for her right now. So I'm going to be a little bit more
she has some moments.
Yes.
But in terms of how she addresses these women, I like that she's not kissing nobody else.
No, I can appreciate that because more people need to start doing that, Larsa. But what I'm saying is in terms of, you know, I give everyone on this franchise an episode by episode because there's some people I can't stand. There's some people I love. And then the episode it changes where it's like, dang, I was going up for you. Now I got to So, you know, we'll see how she do by the reunion. If she comes with her at the reunion, I'm gonna like her the whole season.
That's what I've heard about the reunion is that she did well. It was the few people who stood up for Gertie. So we'll see. This season, I don't mind her. Other seasons, she does get on my nerves, but she's okay. She's okay. Hi, DM Rock.
Hey, DM Rock.
Drop your tea in the chat. I know you have it.
I know you have it, yeah.
Kevin Riddle says Chanel Ayan was aggy as fuck. Her cousin Uba as well. Both were hella. Yeah.
Chanel Ayan was such a disappointment. She just was. I'm sorry.
I saw it coming though. Like I saw it coming from the beginning. Whenever people feel the need to be so extra and feel the need to be like then extra about explaining their story as a means to why they're so extra, I'm like, she just always came out. I don't like Chanel Ayan. She's disingenuous and her wigs were never right and it stressed me out. Chanel Ayan, braids, twist, half wigs. You could get an old school quick weave. Anything but what you've been putting on.
She ain't got no hair no more, so I don't know if that's, you know.
Oh Lord, she says she's necessary and never kisses ass. She is necessary.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah,
I agree with that. And she don't kiss nobody's ass.
She ain't the one I would get rid of. Like I would get rid of Julia before I get rid of anybody else. So
I think we all want Julia gone. I don't see her purpose. When she slapped Anna,
I could have watched that season. I didn't come in on that season. I came in season 3. So I did not come in.
Miami had like a rocky start with Bravo. Like at first they didn't have too many viewers. Nobody watched. They took this long pause, came back, was only on the app. So they've come far, but at the same time. But let's get to what else happens in this episode, y'all. I wasn't too impressed with this episode, but that is me.
The only thing we really have to talk about realistically is this whole cake debacle.
Yeah, which we'll
That's
get
all we have to talk about.
We'll get to. I'm gonna acknowledge these women since they on the show. I'm gonna try. Larsa moved into her new home. $5.7 million is what she spent. The home is beautiful. That does not surprise me for Miami at all in terms of the pricing.
Right.
She moved in with the construction. Some people would be like, oh, what's going on? This and that. I think that's smart. If I'm living in my investment, I'm here every day to see the work that you're doing. Don't be giggling, doing other stuff. My dad does that. He just bought an investment property, and whenever them people is there working on the house, he is there. He's like, I'm just looking for stuff to do. I'm just here. Like, I feel like that's okay, but then at the same time, it is expensive. Miami,
Yeah.
There's a couple places in the country that are extremely expensive to where people everywhere think they're paying a lot and they just don't know. I would say Miami can keep up with the Bay Area and New York and Los Angeles in terms
for
of
sure it can.
cost of living. And I think part of that is because it's a smaller area. So you have all this prime real estate in this small ass area. Of course, the cost is going to go up. There's higher demand. I'm not surprised, but I'm like, okay, Larsa, you live in there. Alexia and Stephanie come by. They speak on Todd dating. I'm not going over this Todd and Alexia shit no more. If they get divorced, they'll get divorced. If they don't, they don't. I could give a flying fuck. I don't know how Alexia is on this show still. I don't understand it because you admitted to perpetrating. You admitted to pretending to have stuff that you didn't have. This relationship with Todd is a mess. He's now come out. I've watched his whole little video that he did. He's come out with some stuff with receipts proving that half of what she do on this show is some bullshit. Why is Alexia? I don't care about her and Todd. So James, I let you comment on the house and Alexia and Todd because y'all, I don't have nothing nice to say, and
I do. Okay, all right. Let me. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and for those of y'all, I have lived in Miami, so I know what Larsa is doing to save money. So and I ain't mad at her because that's a lot of money to drop on a house. Miami is way too overpriced for me, so we'll start there. I'm not one that can live in construction, and I don't live in the city now. I live in Phoenix. I don't live in the city now where that would even be something to do because the air conditioner may not be working. It's hot as hell here. It's hot as hell in Miami, so I'm hoping that the air conditioner work there. You got to run it a little bit colder in Miami than you do in Phoenix. So I just couldn't do it. I would have to get me an Airbnb or depending on how long that construction is going to take, rent you out a little condo or something,
Why does she get that big old house when all of her kids are gone?
Are grown? Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Gone. Right?
But you gotta understand, Larsa is pretentious. She want to be Kim Kardashian, so it makes sense in a way where she would do something like this. Because I would never. If all my kids were grown and they can stay between me and Scotty's house, I'm getting me a penthouse and saving at least $2 million. But that ain't none of my business. But it was a nice house. Like Kevin Reynolds said in the chat, that artwork was very ugly. I am not going to lie.
Larsa, to me, though, like her fashion, it's not all of that to me. I think the fillers are impacting her face, her makeup, that same cat eye. It drives me crazy. And the art. I do agree with this as well. Kevin Reynolds said earlier seasons were super entertaining. It was ugly. It definitely was. Jesse said, yes, Kevin, Miami is like a cult show. It's like a telenovela. So over the top in the best way. That's the truth. That's the truth. The earlier seasons. Now it's like they can save it, but they better fix it fast. I remember going to Phoenix many times as a kid in the late 70s, early 80s. Was it hot as hell back then?
It probably was. Actually, you know what? Honestly, when I first moved here in 2008, it wasn't as bad as it is today. It was probably like today we get up to the 115s, 120s. When I first moved here, it was 105, 104. So people overcrowding it is making it hot here. But getting back to the show, what else were we talking about? Alexia and who else were we talking about?
That's really it. That's it for that scene.
I had a point I was going to make about her. Oh, this was my point. If we can deal with Sheree's broke ass perpetrating on Real Housewives of Atlanta, then I can deal with Alexia.
We cannot deal with Sheree. I'm so tired of Sheree. Y'all, I just sent the funniest meme to James and Shayna _MCD. Sheree has made an absolute donkey of herself on television, and she's so good at it. She's so good at it, but I just be feeling bad because
I
you
don't feel
won't.
bad. What you feeling bad for? What you feeling bad for Sheree?
Cause
Let me explain something to
catch a
you.
break.
No, she can't. Well, here's the thing. I think Sheree likes it. I think Sheree likes when people see through her foolishness because to me, it's a gimmick like the rest of the other shit she has. So, I'm just here. I'm just like this. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If Alexia can be on Real Housewives of Miami and Sheree can be on Real Housewives of Atlanta perpetrating, what the hell I got to do with that? I don't care at the end of the day. Let her ass be on here and let her get exposed every single time. It's fine. If she ain't got no
Alexia
damn
will
money,
be
it's
that
gonna
person
show.
though. She's always going to have some craziness because I just don't think she make good decisions as it relates to men, and she gets catty with female. This is a true statement, Kevin.
Didn't nobody tell Mrs. Best to bring her ass out here in August, one of the hottest fucking
It was
months.
July. I never
July,
forget the month.
July. No one. That's even worse. No one told her to bring her ass out here. I told her
I
not
had
to
the
come out here.
PTO at that time. That's the only way.
Now she bringing her ass out here next month like she's supposed to do, because then I can actually go outside.
It was hot as hell. Never again, y'all. Never again.
No, don't come here in the summertime. Never come here in the summertime. I want to escape in the summertime. If I could figure out a way to be a snowbird where it actually is lucrative for me, I would 100% be a snowbird because the winters here are beautiful, but the summers here are dreadful. And if I could go to like Vermont or something and spend the summer there, yeah, I would do it. But they gotta have black people.
Let me tell y'all, I'm a true California girl. Born and raised Oakland, California, 65 to 75. About year round. I like it that way. And now it's starting to get hot. They talk about climate change. We getting tropical weather, which I don't like. Thunder and lightning in the middle of the day, humidity. I'm like, what is
I'm
this?
used to it because Phoenix has that too.
They need to fix it. I was thinking that's what I had PTO. I just wanted to see my friend. I had PTO and my other friend, with her, we had to go when she had the money, if that makes sense. Because I wasn't paying for her. Not that time. The next thing we see, y'all, we gonna do our best to be kind, but I don't have very many kind words for this lady. Y'all know how I feel about her. Julia is saying that her daughters are not going to be with her for Christmas. This we're seeing is Christmas time at the time that this was filmed. I don't feel bad for Julia. I don't. You got some little black babies. You adopted them. Change their names. The adoption is not even final yet. You got them on camera. The other mom is going to be like 80 something by the time they get to middle school. You ain't got not a black person in sight to teach them about their culture. Are you going to teach them to sleep with a wave cap, Julia? You going to put the do-rag on his head at night? Buy the sponge so he could curl up his curls, his fro? You going to teach him the importance of a lineup? I don't trust it. I don't trust this shit. Black people, don't be scared to adopt. But Julia's talking to Martina, who's scared. I couldn't wake up to that at night. I couldn't. She's a great talent, but that's it. Martina says some things. I didn't like how Martina acted in this conversation. Mind you, I don't like Julia at all. I don't think that they should have adopted these kids. I just don't. And not just because of the kids' race, like for a variety of other reasons. But Martina seems to feel like the daughters are at fault for the drama. She doesn't like how torn up Julia has been over not being able to talk to her daughters. But you still decided to adopt the kids instead of saying, hey, why don't we wait and try to work this out as a family and do it together? Instead, they went forward and adopted. So I'm not understanding why Martina feels like the daughters are at fault, basically because they said they wanted nothing to do with the adoption process. And then Martina seems to feel like the girls got mad at a process they knew about. Them saying they didn't want anything to do with it was them sending the signal, pause, don't do this right now. For you to ignore that is crazy when you already have kids. So even though kids become grown, they still have feelings. Like it's very easy for them to go to the place of being a kid. So I didn't like that. I don't know. It's just, I feel like Martina's manipulative in the situation. I feel like she's a problem for the family. I don't feel like the girls are at fault, but I mean, a piece of me also doesn't feel sorry for Julia because this is what you get. She's such a pick me in every negative way. So I'm like, you did all of this to satisfy your old ass wife and it ripped apart your family. So, and now you're crying about it after throwing water on your black cast member for no apparent reason, even though she proved that she was lying. Like, why does Julia on the show, James? How'd you feel about it?
Julia's on the show because, Bravo always has to have some old obnoxious, nonsensical ass white lady on the show that, does the absolute most for entertainment. And they don't realize it's highly offensive to a lot of different cultures, i.e., also African American cultures. But what I will say about this is that I am nervous about the black kids. I'm nervous because I don't feel like she's the type of person that would embrace them to go into their black roots and cultures and understand who they are and understand this process. That yes, that is your mama, but at the end of the day, you are black, and she needs to make sure she accompanies that situation. Like the examples you gave were great examples. The maintaining, like black people take pride in, especially men, maintaining themselves, getting their haircuts, getting, the products, African soap. Like we always are doing stuff to make sure we are one with our cultures and making sure we keep our appearances smooth and clear. I hope that's what she does. I pray that's what she does because I have no problem with other ethnicities adopting black children because they are the leading, ethnicity in foster care. They just are. And so when it comes to that, I'm happy for anyone who takes that chance. I can't wait to do it myself. You guys know, I always say it. I want 7 children. And I do not mind if a few of them come from foster or if all of them come from foster care. I would definitely take them. But the thing about it is, I will make sure they're in tune with their culture. But I'll take any kid, really. But at the end of the day, I'm predominantly looking for my black kids. That's what I'm doing. So I don't have a problem with this, but I just hope if she listens, Julia, if you listen.
Especially Julia coming from a culture where African American people, even when we were able to travel there, are not even safe.
Yes. So my point to Julia is, Julia, do not, and I better not see them kids look a tad bit off. If I see it, I'm calling you out, and I'm calling out Bravo in that call center for showing that shit in the first place. So to me, it better be right. That's all I'm saying. And they better be in tune with their culture. If they're going to have long hair, it better be well maintained. Because some tell me she going to do that. Some tell me she going to see, you should do dreads like I see everybody out here. It better be maintained well. Because she just strikes me as that type of person. I don't know why.
Because you're right. Kevin Riddle said California has the best weather. That is the truth.
It does.
To the West Coast. I love it. I love it. I've been trying to get to the West Coast for years. I've been telling James
me too. If I could afford to live in LA, I would live in LA. That's exactly my dream city to live in. But I can't afford that shit. That's why I'm in Phoenix now. I can't even afford Oakland. And Mina been trying to get me to get back to Oakland for years. Since I left Arizona in 2000, left California in 2008. She been trying to get me to come back.
Everybody in California, let the social worker let me help you. I can find you some housing.
Girl, I'm gonna need 5 jobs. Like literally, I'm gonna need 5 jobs and 24 incomes to live there. I cannot afford it. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord. See, and I do say this. I'm grateful for my husband because he paid the rent, but it helps when you're 2 incomes out here. It's really the only.
I'm in a 2-income household, and he still said, "Hell no, we're not moving to no California."
I mean, I'll convince him. I just wait.
You gotta get me. Trust me.
I'm working at it.
That old man is stern. I'm older than my husband, but that old man is not budging off that because he would love to live in California. He would love it. Like I know he would.
We could take him to a sideshow, get some good food.
He would love it. I'm telling you, he loves California. He just can't. He just see them prices and then he run the other direction.
I'll call my dad. He always got a hookup. Kevin said that scene was to pander the viewing audience. Get away from us with this, Apollo. Jesse says Julia has been a bore since the reboot. Preach.
Amen.
I like you, Jesse, because
we love you over here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel now.
Between the goats and jams, I'm sick. I'm Mexican, but absolutely right. Those kids need to understand their own culture. Don't have them running around ragged.
I
That's true.
promise
Even in
you.
Mexican culture, Hispanic children being adopted by people like Julia, there's important aspects of that culture as well that need to be
Absolutely.
connected. I think culture just matters. It's a part of us. So regardless of what your culture is, if you adopt a kid that's Asian, make sure you learn
And
the type
and
and
that's why
find
it's
the
important to
culture.
always have a diverse group of friends. Like my mom taught me that it's always
Mhm.
important to have a diverse group of friends because you never know what circumstances you're going to be faced. And it's always great to embrace their cultures. Because like I said, I'm on the adoptive train. I would love to adopt children. But
Mhm.
but if I end up not getting one that's black, I need to make sure I'm in tune with them and know that they know what they are. Because I don't want my child not to be self-aware and not have an identity crisis. Like I just
I
that
better
would be
see
irresponsible.
Julia dancing at the HBCU like we saw Angelina Jolie, clapping with all of the colors.
I don't see that. I
I
don't foresee them
no,
kids going so
I know we
I
don't
hope
see
they do.
it, but I'm just saying in case Julia acts like whoop whoop at the reunion because I feel like it'll come up. But that's the best reference that you could give. One of the best, not the.
See,
Jesse.
that scares me. Because I didn't even think about that. Now I got to Jesse, we love you already. We love you. We do.
Wait, because Martina's hair does stress me out. Kevin Reynolds says the more Julia comes across Real Housewives of Miami as of lately is beginning to shed light towards Alexia's reference of the Russian prostitutes. Y'all are not letting Julia breathe, and I love it. I love it. Did y'all see the sneak peek for next week? Adriana tears down Julia and goes to hell with her. She talked about her 9 engagements and calls her a user, manipulative, and a gaslighter. I did see that. I did see that.
I can't wait for it either.
I can't wait because it's true. Something about Julia gives me she gave for the right amount of money. And yes, I said it. And no, you cannot cancel me for it because people do sometimes. And there is a stigma in the LGBTQ community, especially with gay men, that they be having their pockets together. I feel like Julia saw
They
dollar
do.
signs.
They do. You
Yeah,
know,
and nothing's wrong with it.
and there's
But
nothing wrong with it, especially in that city. Miami is well known for that to be going on. So yeah, I can 100%.
and she getting a little old for what the men in Miami would like. So
No, I'm just saying, gay men in Miami. That's 100% correct. They're called sponsors. That's what they call them. So it absolutely gives that kind of situation. And you know, back in my time before I even chose men, I probably would have done it. Like you know. But
yeah,
I
Karen
actually
Reynolds
want.
is agreeing. Maybe I'm not crazy because I'm like she doesn't give me someone like you could tell when someone like is meant to be with a woman or really like someone of the same
No,
sex. Like Julia does not give to me, but it's cool. We gonna move forward. Lisa's trying to convince us of Jody being a good spouse for her. That's literally what my note says. It kind of sounds harsh now that I read it aloud, but that's what went through my head. She's at her house and she's like, Jody's so good with the kids. The kids are like, Jody, Jody, Jody. That man gave them kids foods and they was looking at him like the nigga's still here. So I don't know what, maybe Lisa sees something we don't see with him. But I will say this. After their conversation, I have strong opinions on Lisa. So they have this private chef for some reason serve them outside, even though the kids had, I don't understand why they didn't eat with the kids, but they have their own little separate dinner. And Lisa is hinting at wanting to be engaged again because she says she's just not a woman who can sit unmarried. Jody strongly disagrees with this and feels like they should wait. Here's what I peep. Jody likes to use what Lisa has been through against her as the reason he don't want to marry her. He don't want to marry that woman outside of that. That's my honest to God opinion because he tells her that her drama and her life is chaos. But what the fuck do you expect when you get with somebody who is still legally married? You've been with this woman and got with this woman while she was going through a divorce. I don't know why you're surprised at chaos, bruh. I don't get it. I genuinely don't. If you choose to date someone in a divorce, you're choosing to deal with chaos. It's not like usually a peaceful thing unless the person is just locked up in jail and unable to speak for themselves. Like it's not going to be that way. So I didn't understand that. He doesn't want to take accountability for that. He seems to tell her that she puts him in tricky situations and says that she needs to work on things and go to therapy, which irritated me. If anything, sir, you need to go to therapy, because why did you seek out a bitch that was unavailable? Lisa probably does need therapy, but she doesn't need for you to tell her that. And Lisa, baby, my nana told me, don't you ever beg for a man. You should not have to ask him to marry you. You should not have to convince him. You should not have to hint at it. The joy and the excitement in the engagement is the surprise. So if you're hinting and begging, like, that just seems to be extra. But I don't know. Lisa randomly broke down. I think she's irresponsible. You don't know this nigga well enough to have him up in your house and around your kids like that. You just don't. He's in your business. He's acting weird. There's obviously a screw loose with him. So I feel like Lisa needs to grow up, but she's not going to grow up. I have no faith in her, basically. James.
I agree.
Damn.
It's sad because, you know, she's pretty. And I think that, you know, she embodies that so much where she feels like she needs to be a trophy for some man. And I think that that's the reason why she acts the way she does. And that's probably how she was brought up, is that you always have to be some trophy for some man. And she doesn't realize that she is the prize. She doesn't realize that she's the one that puts the foot forward. So for this man, he must be good in bed. That's the only thing I can think of as to why she constantly is pushing for this. She's pushing to be some man's wife, but lady, you are some man's wife. So it's like, what happened in that situation?
You just got divorced and you're already trying to hint toward engagement. You're tripping.
Right.
You're
like
tripping.
what is with the fascination? Like, what is the fascination with needing to be married after you just left a marriage? Like, you know, like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is it? Because he's right for these therapy, but it was like right message, wrong person to deliver.
Yeah.
Because you're not helping the situation.
Yeah. Because if she was healed, your ass wouldn't be there.
Be there in the first place. Thank you. Because I was like, well, you are actually making the situation worse. Because now she thinks that there's something wrong with her, according to you. The one person that matters most. So now it's coming across to her, and that's why she's so upset. And it's very childish and stupid. Lady, you too old for this shit. At the end of the day, you too old to be doing all this. You need to wake up, and you need to get help. Not because he told you to do it, but because you actually need to do it for you. Because you're not a service. So you have children. You're not a good service to them by sitting here in this man's face, begging him to marry you, and he's telling you, "Oh no, you have problems. You need to go to therapy." That's not the man you marry. She's trying to
make it work though, because if it doesn't work and she had her kids in front of him, she seems like the type that don't want to admit that she was wrong. So she's just gonna try and make it work.
Well, here's the thing: in life, you're gonna be wrong.
Lisa's not gonna accept that though, and that's why I say, like, that's why I didn't make too much breath with her, because she's one of those people who she really just not gonna see it. Jesse said about Martina, and then she found the right cat for sure. Well, damn. Kevin Riddle said, for example, when Julia was rubbing the legs of the ladies in a previous episode, prostitute behavior. That was very cringy. I felt like that.
I didn't even watch. I had to fast forward that because I was not watching it. Because first of all, she's not cute, so it just, you know, she looked rough, and so it was kind of like, I don't want to see that.
It's annoying. And then separate from that, whether you're in a same-sex relationship or a heterosexual relationship, don't be rubbing on the legs of people like that. Like, respect your partner. That's just my opinion, but okay, Martina.
I learned in my last relationship, which is why I have boundaries in this relationship, is because my last relationship, my ex was disrespectful like that. I would never forget, in the club, he sat on another dude's lap. Granted, he knew the man, but I didn't know the man. So it was kind of like, whoa, sir, y'all don't, we need boundaries.
Yeah. I'm glad you enforced boundaries too, because I was ready to hop on the plane so fucking fast. I said, oh, you don't want to act the fool, but I got time. He didn't let me.
Because I know Mrs. Best will go to jail. She ain't got no.
I'll be out the next day, maybe the same day. I'll be all right. I can eat a bologna sandwich for a day. People be acting a fool. I'm a Gemini, y'all. I try. I do my best. I do, but I'm a little. My screws aren't tight. Jesse said exactly. Jody seems cool, but of every chick in Miami, you got the girl in the middle of a divorce and on a reality show. Right. He knew what he's doing. I feel like he's like he preys on successful women that are broken. He just seems like the type. Because who else gonna want him? Lisa is a pretty lady with a cat face. I agree. The answer is money. Well, damn. Well, damn. Jesse says,
Miami.
I like it. Yeah, that's true.
It's Miami. That's what it is.
But I think, yes, Kevin, it's for the money and security. Sure, maybe she does love him, but without the ring, the ends are still loose. That's actually, yeah, that is true.
To me, I don't think she loves herself. So when you don't love yourself, love is just a 4-letter word. So it's easy to be attached and it's easy to have a lot of lust for people in a situation where it looks like love to you because you don't necessarily love yourself. So you have no idea the amount of damage it's actually doing to you and your person. So I think that that's really what it is. If you ask me.
Hell no. Girl, you fucking with the church's pieces of change with that one.
For real, no. I couldn't even let her kiss my toes.
With what lips? She missing the top one. Hell. Okay.
I'm good. We good over here. I don't want whatever that is. I do not want it.
I don't want it.
I don't know. She's not, no.
I feel like she smelled like cigarettes.
No, she remind me of somebody that smell like feet.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like, somebody,
damn.
yeah, like that's
Not
just
feet. Not the toes. Yeah. Toes shouldn't have a smell, but I know
they shouldn't, but yeah, exactly. Like old cheeks.
Making me itch. We get to the art event, y'all, because Adriana's in the art. I love Adriana's intelligence, by the way, and how cultured she is with the arts as a whole. But there's going to be an art event with hella stairs. That's all I was thinking looking at it. And the camera was being petty, filming from that angle, everybody going up all them stairs. Whose idea? But it was a cool event. There was just hella stairs. Like, for me, I can't walk up that many stairs. I can if I'm working out, but if you put me in a nice outfit at a nice event where I'm meant to be cute and I got on stilettos pumps in the club, I do not want that many stairs. I would have been like, James. Ain't no way.
I know where they are in Miami, but at the end of the day, it's actually not that bad.
When you're in heels,
I get it. No, I get it. But it honestly, here's the thing though. It's one of those situations where they were making it more than what it was. They really were. It is not that high up. And what's crazy is about that, there's an escalator that goes down. That was right to the right of that. They didn't show that, but there's an escalator that actually goes down.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
I'm gonna take you to it. When we go to Miami, I'm gonna take you to it. I know exactly where they were.
Kevin said on another note, I'm enjoying this live with the visuals of both of you on camera. So used to Jesse and James. I'm trying. I be lazy. I had to change schools, switch my schedule around so that I could get back to being on camera in more than just a bonnet. Like, I am alive. I am a real person. I had someone DM me that. Are you AI? No, I'm not.
Think I do a video with some AI? I'm not
it
even
would
that
look nicer if it was
yeah, right. I'm not even that talented. Like, I'm just not. Like, I don't know how these people do it today. I would love to learn because I feel like I would love to get $1 million for creating some AI shit and then bringing it here. I would love to learn, but no, I'm not that talented, y'all. I'm just not.
Oh, Lord. The art event was cool. Larsa talks to Adriana, y'all, about the cake. This is where the cake comes up, the base of this whole episode. And basically, on the cruise, they did a birthday cake for Adriana and said, "Happy birthday, Adriana." And on the bottom of it, somebody put a mathematical equation, 32 times 2 minus a certain amount, to come up with the age 59. Adriana, bitch, you look good. Okay? You're not black, but it's not cracking. You look good. 59 years old. Leave this lady alone. The old thing is tired. To put that on the cake before we go any further, I think that's shady. Once I am past 21, don't you put my motherfucking age on no goddamn cake. Don't put it on the cake. If you know me, you know how old I am. Why do we need to celebrate this? Just be glad that I'm alive for another year and made another year around the sun. Give me that. Right?
So I know not to buy her no birthday cake. I know not to buy her no birthday cake because my crazy ass would actually put her age on the birthday cake. I'm not
Well,
gonna
the
do it the
thing of it
way
is,
I'm not gonna do the way Kiki did it, but I will put
it's okay
happy.
to put the age, but to do the math,
No,
that's
that
the
was
part
shady as
that
hell.
made
No,
me shady.
no, no,
Because I
that
feel
was
like most
shady.
people can own their age, but to put the math, like for you to be old enough to need the math is like, okay. It
Well,
was
here's the
shady.
thing.
And
It was shady because you know this lady feel away about her age. Like you know this lady feel away. You know this lady is not going to take this cake and laugh about it. So the fact that you
right.
even did this is absolutely crazy to me because that's grounds for fighting on my birthday. That's grounds
Yeah.
for fighting on my birthday. And now I got to be ignorant on my birthday and cuss you out and then possibly slap the shit out of you because you wanted to be funny. And I
That's
don't think that
another
that's
thing
funny.
that you bring up though. I do feel like, so we know ahead of time that Kiki did it, nobody else knows. Stephanie does come in just so we can move it along, and she's doing all this drama with Marisol. Um, but I don't know. Everybody originally thinks Julia did the cake, and I kind of thought Julia did the cake as at first as well. Um, but I'm looking at these ladies. Some interesting things happen. Julia and Alexia, why are you upset that Lisa spent $1,000 to have someone put up her Christmas tree? Why does that upset you?
Because Julia had to ask the master to do it. So that's why
I
she
know
went.
Julia, she said she went to the Home Depot, got the tree, put it up. But why does it bother you? Like, I put up my own Christmas tree, I do. But if I had the money, I
Let me
pay
tell y'all,
somebody to do that shit. I don't
let
really
me
enjoy
tell y'all,
doing it.
I have never on my own grown put up a Christmas tree. I have never, and I am 35. I have never, in any place that I have lived in on my own, I have never had a Christmas tree. I have never put up a Christmas tree. I don't have the patience to put one up. I don't have the patience to bring in a real one because I have allergies. I don't have the time to buy a fake one because they high as hell. I don't have the patience to do so. So if I ever have enough money, God willing, I'm here for it. Give it to me. If I come into an extra $1,000, yes, put up my Christmas tree, and then I need to be in Whoville with that lady who had the shit that shot up and on the roof the Christmas lights. I need that because I'm
I'm
not
cracking up
putting up
with Jay
Christmas lights.
because true story. Last year, me and my husband were like, we want a real Christmas tree because we love the smell, things like that. Went to the tree farm. They must have quoted us like well over $120. When I say my husband turned us around and we went to Walmart and he was like, hell no, he bought he said, absolutely not. He said, and we could reuse this one too. I said, you know what? I'm gonna let him have it because that man was tripping. But I thought that was odd. I'm not gonna go too much over this conversation, but I want your opinion, James. Stephanie talks to Marisol and Alexia about the cake. This is where it comes out that Kiki was the one who did it. This is why I don't like Kiki, because Kiki throw rocks and then tries to hide her hand. I don't like that shit. If you did it, bitch, then stand on it. Stand the fuck on it. Because everybody sitting up here tried to give you the benefit of the doubt and was going to blame Julia, and it was you who did the cake and you admitted, and you started to say that you wasn't trying to age shame her. But you are trying to age shame her. However, I need to go back to Kevin's comment. Where to go? Right here. He said, I confirmed Adriana's intelligence. He had said ratchet meant wretched. Girl, stop. Because Kiki is within her right to mess with Adriana. It's just, if you got a problem with her, make it known. Don't be acting this way. I feel like Kiki's wishy-washy. It's too soon if you get into it with somebody. The reason I do feel like Kiki does somewhat have a right is because I don't feel like Adriana meant wretched. I feel like she meant ratchet. I genuinely do. I know that she speaks 5 different languages. I know that English is not her first language, but I also know Adriana to be, in my opinion, the most intelligent woman on the cast, academically and just personally. She's highly intelligent, and I think her discernment is top tier. I do think she meant ratchet. Do I think that she meant it in like a racial way? Not per se, but I don't think she meant it to be positively. But Kiki, if you got a problem, speak on it. Don't go writing ages and equations on a cake when this girl was sitting on a cruise in the beautiful everything, getting top tier food like this. Just because a damn birthday was coming. Like, it was extra. It was extra. I didn't get it. How'd you feel about Kiki doing it?
I thought it was in poor taste, regardless of you and Adriana's history. I feel like it is definitely something you shouldn't have did because once again, this lady obviously feels a way about her getting older. She's very much Blanche Devereaux. She doesn't want to age, so it's completely fine for her to be like that. But for you to put a math equation versus just saying "Happy 59th birthday, Adriana," you were trying to be shady. You were trying to be mean. And this makes whatever she said, regardless if she meant the racial slang or the indefinite slang of ratchet, ma'am, you are ratchet. I honestly would have had more respect for her, Adrian, if she just called you plain old ghetto.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. Because I would be like, well, yeah, that is, ignorant.
Because don't think because Kiki is a pretty model and has that beautiful skin and it's just a pleasure to look at that she don't act a little bit ratchet. Because in my opinion, she do. She do. I don't like the way she moves at all. I don't like
it's very kiss ass. It's just you trying to kiss whoever ass so that way you know that you're filming, so you can film. We know that this is an opportunity for you, and you want to step on whoever you can to make sure you get there. So if that means kissing the ass of the old white lady married to the older white lady, so that way you can be here, you're going to do that. And it's so sad because
kissing ass and not defending not only the other person of color on the show with you, but the person who's also like shares the same culture as you, which is
crazy. And to me, I looked at Gertie sideways when they were riding together. I was like, oh no, there's no way.
Because Gertie, I feel like Gertie hasn't figured it out yet. I think the rest of us see Gertie's discernment is delayed. The rest of us see Kiki for what she is, but I don't really feel sorry for Kiki. Kiki irritate me. Before I move on to this stupid ass talk between Marisol and Stephanie, let me catch the comments because there's a bunch of them and I may have failed y'all and I'm so sorry. Jesse has said, I still go back and forth with the wretched thing. But then I also wonder, does she even know the word ratchet? It seems like it's been popularized as more slang, but IDK. She knows it's slang.
She knows it's slang. She knows, like, people are now saying it as a term of endearment now.
But I don't think that Adriana is racist. Like, when we truly think of, like, the definition of someone who's racist or someone who's throwing a microaggression, it did not give that. And that's why I agree with James when he said, girl, just own that you called her ratchet, or I would if you just called her ghetto.
Because to me, her actions, you can back that up. This is what I'm saying. Like, you could back up her being ratchet. You can back up her at times being ghetto because she was doing that. Yes. Yeah. You can back it up. Like, I could see if you, that's just like, I could see if she wasn't doing all those things that you just said, yeah, that's racist. But no, if you can back up someone's behavior being that way, then no, it is what it is.
I think Kiki is trying to, and some people of color do this. I do feel like she's trying to take a sensitive topic that people are also publicly sensitive about, especially in the political climate today, and use that to her advantage for filming. It doesn't give me something that is like genuine. Because if anybody would say anything or complain about race, I would want to hear it from Gertie, not Kiki. Kiki has not had that same experience. If anything, she's been a part of the Mean Girls and the bullshit in this. But at the same time, and the reason I feel that way, she could have just thrown something back. You called me ratchet bitch when you was drunk as hell on the boat talking about knobby knees, Marisol. Like, she could have just threw something back at her, but instead she chose to make it this big damn deal. But I also want people who are not Black to understand, do not do what Adriana did and take your only Black friend and like be having them on. And we're going to talk about that when we get to it, but don't do that. That's not always helpful.
No.
Kevin Reynolds said Kiki purposely put that equation on the cake to further her loyalty. Yep. Because they said, but we know who did it. And that's why I don't understand why Kiki would do that or anybody on this cast.
Because they threw you under the bus the first chance they got.
Do it every time.
Yeah, they're like, I don't understand. That's why I said she's one of those that, she's not going to align herself with the only other Black person because you don't think you can get ahead with it. That's how old girl on Beverly Hills did Garcelle.
Yeah.
I'm never going to speak her name because I don't like her. But that's how she did. You didn't think it was proactive enough for you to film with the other end of the black girl because you don't think that that agenda was going to push you forward. Because a lot of the times when black women are the only two, they think that wherever environment they're in, that they're only going to need one. So therefore, they're going to go against them because they want to be that one that's chosen. It's the same thing here with Kiki. Gertie's already a housewife. So you trying to go back and forth and trying to, use her as an ally only to throw her under the bus when we get there. It's only going to backfire on you because then that logic is going to come into play versus Patton. What I expected out of Kiki when Julia threw that water on Gertie, I expected Kiki to take off her earrings like Royce did when Susie threw that water in that lady's face.
Yeah.
I expected her to take off her earrings and say, what you not going to do to my sister is throw that water on her. We're going to have problems.
But you got more mad at being called ratchet because you questioned than you got mad at something that actually was a problem. But Kiki full of it. Jesse says, I really don't think she means it in a racially charged way. I don't either. Her dog is named after a black French artist. Yes, he is. Yes. I like that you know your knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
If Adriana wants to insult her, she knows how for sure. That's my thing. She would know what to do. Agreed, Kevin, with Kiki, another puppet. How dreadful.
How dreadful what? Did I ain't put up no Christmas? Listen, maybe this year my man will actually put it up for me because I'm telling you, I'm not putting up no Christmas tree. I'm just not gonna do it. I love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday. I love wrapping presents.
James will wrap the hell out of a gift. He'll make sure everyone has a card. He will not forget a single person. He's just not gonna do all of that.
I'm not gonna put
me on the other end. I'm decorating trees, putting them up. I always cook food and welcome people who don't have family to come around. And we keep blunts in rotation. Hallelujah. Happy birthday, Jesus.
I'm going to skip that part. I'm going to give me a plate of food. Trust me. I'm going to give me a plate of food, but I'm skipping that part.
I know. One of my friends moved to Mississippi. I really want her to leave there. But she texted me and she was like, when you cook for the holidays, can you freeze it up? She said something about sending something to package it, seal it or something so no freezer burn gets to it and then ship it to me. I was like,
you can do it. I work for USPS.
Freeze my food and ship it.
It's okay. Here's the thing. It is a high risk. You have to definitely seal it because one lady did not seal it and a fish came out of the package and it fell on the floor. And I will never forget. I was like, it will be on my shift and I will be working this exact machine when this shit happens. So of course I had to pick up the fish, reseal it, and then send it to wherever it was going.
You did work for one of the
I did, yes, I did, and it was the most dreadful experience of my life. That is the worst job I have ever had. Made great friends, met some of the most amazing people in this world. But that job was terrible.
We meet the best people at the worst jobs.
At the worst jobs, yes, we do.
Some of my best friends I met at places that I was like, the hell was I thinking?
Right.
But my apologies to get back on track, y'all. Stephanie talks with Marisol. They got a beef because Alexia had told Stephanie about how she was only on doing what Marisol wanted, which doesn't surprise me. Marisol tries to argue that the problem is basically she feels like Stephanie throws her money and pricing up. Stephanie talks about brands the same way these other women. I've got my Dior's, I've got my Fendi's, I've got my all of these women do this. Why is Stephanie doing it a problem? Because Stephanie's the one who got real money. And I think that Marisol being friends with the perpetrator is probably not used to that. I think she has money. They all do well, but I definitely think she may be jealous of the fact that Stephanie has a little more money. Her wallet goes longer. Stephanie did remind Marisol, I never said that it was Larsa who brought up how much I spent on this plane. And Stephanie did clock Marisol, in my opinion, because she was like, if you have an issue with them, then stand in it and leave that to be your issue. Don't bring me into it. Because she confronts her about the fact that she was really mad about her meeting with Adriana. They do make peace. I think Marisol thinks she got away with it, but I think based on Stephanie's confessionals, she's like, okay, Marisol, I'll make peace with you, but I don't know if I trust you. You keep saying you don't know if you trust her, Stephanie, and then going back, though. This is the second or third time she's done that. How many times does Marisol and Alexia have to show you that they're not trustworthy before you stop trusting these bitches? Why does everybody feel like they have to be up Marisol and Alexia's ass when they're the least interesting bitches on this show after Julia? I'm just saying. So how'd you feel about they talk, James?
It was a waste of time. Because y'all have to understand something. Miami, like LA, is the label whore of the whole country. So for me, I felt like, what is this even argument even about? Like, why are we checking out what people got on and what people's pockets look like? If they don't got it, it's gonna show. If they do got it, it's gonna show. Why does that bother y'all? To me, it was such a waste of time. I was more wanting to know how Adriana was doing in the corner over there. Seeing it was, her birthday. Blanche. That's my new nickname for her, Blanche Devereaux. I know because, let me tell you something. Blanche Devereaux from every season of the Golden Girls has been 41 the entire time. So I want to see how she do.
Lord, what does this comment say? I think Stephanie got a bad deal from the beginning. She was advertised as the ex of Nicole's fiance and most loved Nicole. So I think she was seen immediately as an op. Y'all like her? Nah. Okay, so I like Stephanie for how she's not afraid to call out people when they do stuff. As Marisol said, she gets it off her chest and moves on. I don't like how fast she moves on. I've seen some things that she met her current husband when she was his then wife's assistant or receptionist or something crazy. So I'm sure with Stephanie, right now we're seeing her get the ladies together and prove that she can handle this. But I think as we see her, if she comes back next season, she gonna need to give more. We don't know enough about her background. We're 16 episodes in. All she talks about is her sisters. We haven't seen them. So I can't say that I like her at all, but I don't fully dislike her. But I definitely don't like her fully.
To me, that situation didn't do anything for me because if y'all know me, I'm not somebody that's going to just ridicule a person for a decision that they made, regardless if it was good or bad. I don't really think that that's something that I'll be judging it as a character flaw, but that doesn't mean that that's going to make me dislike you. That just means that, I just probably fully can't trust you. I do agree with Kevin Reynolds' comment that you have up here. She is braggadocious.
She is.
Like, I kind of feel like she does it in a way that is so obnoxious that I'm like, lady, if you don't sit down somewhere. Like, it's just crazy. But no, I don't think that I judge her based on that. I think I judge her based on the fact that what she brought to the show wasn't really that interesting because she let out a lot of context that maybe would have made sense if this was really like legitimate. Like, I hate when housewives do this when they have a situation with their sibling and then they don't go into the prominent details that would make us go, okay, that makes sense. Or, okay, yeah, we see what you're understanding. Like Danielle from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
She did throw them under the bus. If you're not going to have your family members on there, I don't think it's right to talk about your family issues. There's people in my family over the years that I've had issues with, but if I had the opportunity to be on a public platform, I'm not going to air out those issues without giving them a chance to tell their side of the story.
Absolutely. That's fine. Yeah.
She's not done that is shady. The fact that her parents have not tried to encourage it when we saw them, shady. She got lost in the Housewives drama, but I want to see more from Stephanie's personal life. They got her on the picture. We should have seen more.
Absolutely. Like I said, she reminds me of Danielle from Real Housewives of New Jersey. We don't know what happened between her and that brother. So it's like, well, if he's not coming on the show, what you bringing it up for? Just like her. If your sisters ain't coming on here, then what you bringing it up for?
Yeah. Don't do your family like that, especially if you hope to make peace with them. If you hope to make peace with them, it's probably not going to help that you're on national television referring to them as sensitive and less successful. I'm just saying. Came for their work ethic, talked about having to fire them, talked about how you believe they jealous. Like, she didn't say nothing positive. But Lisa and Larsa pull aside Julia and Adriana. It comes out again about Kiki and this cake, y'all. I'm not going to go over it again, but Julia defends Kiki and says she did not mean it to be mean. Somebody play with my best friend. Let me tell you this. If I go to a birthday party for James and somebody put the math figures on that cake, I know immediately James is going to be trying to cover the cake, hoping I don't see, but I'm going to be right there.
Yep.
And I'm going to question everybody.
She know me too well.
If you is blood, I don't care if you're a cousin, lost auntie, great granny in the wheelchair with the power scooter. You charged up, Nana? Because I need to know. Did you do this? I'm getting to the bottom
She
of it.
knows. She know me way too long because she know exactly I'm about to do that. She know I am gonna wipe that icing off that cake before she sees.
Yes. And the moment I see that he's had to rub something off of the cake, I don't even need to know what it was. Who the fuck did it? I'm questioning everybody. So I'm looking at, I say that to say, like, Julia, if Adriana's supposed to be your closest friend and somebody did that, why are you like, oh, it's meant to be funny? Why is it that every time Julia does something wrong or is aware of something wrong that is done, it's got to be funny? Like, it's not funny, but Gertie telling the truth and standing up to you made you so mad that you had to throw water on her. Like, Julia is just awful. She's just awful. Adriana calls it out and it's like, Julia, you're supposed to be my best friend. And I thought this was really mean, actually, to say to someone that's a friend, you're not friend to be around anymore. Maybe the reason I don't talk to you and I'm not a good friend is because you're pushing me away. It's like, you're telling me I'm not fun. You're confirming that there is a problem after you've been gaslighting me, acting like nothing is wrong for all this time. And now you're telling me that because I demand respect, that is pushing you away. Fuck you, Julia, and your couch.
Here's the thing. It wasn't fucking funny. First of all, Julia, it wasn't funny. Did you see me laughing? And the thing about it is, you know I have a problem with age. You know this to be true. So the last thing I want to see on a cake that is for my day is to have some shady ass math equation on it exposing my real age. But I told you, because you've been my friend all this time, that I have a problem with my age. Like, I have a problem with being old. Like, you know this. Like, to me, I'm sorry, but it would have taken everything in me not to cut Julia a slice of that cake and then throw it right in her face. It would have taken everything in me because that's exactly what I would have done. I'm like, we don't even need to see happy birthday. Let me cut you a piece of cake, Julia. Tell me if it's good and just splat it right in that face. I would have did it and wouldn't have had no problem. I wouldn't have cared. Just because.
I would have fucking cake overboard. You
No, I would have.
me.
Yeah, I would have made sure a piece of it got in her face just to make sure. Since she like throwing water in people's face, she like throwing things in people's face. Let me see how you like it. Let me see how you enjoy something being thrown into you and violate you. Let me see how that works for you.
Because that pissed me off. Kiki didn't have to do that. It just stirred up all of this, got these girls at their breaking point. Adriana does a lot saying that Kiki was trying to call her a racist. Kiki did not say that she was calling her a racist. She said that using the word ratchet has a different meaning with African-American people. Let me tell you this. I live in one of the most diverse states in this country, California. I'm in the Bay Area, okay? I done seen ratchet Hispanics, ratchet Black people, ratchet confused colorless people, ratchet Samoans, ratchet Tongans, okay? Ratchet everything. So some people just ignorant. They act ratchet. It doesn't always align with a race. And I think as Black people, we should be happy that it don't just align with us, honestly, as quiet as it's kept. But Adriana went too far doing the extra stuff. This is my friend, my ride or die for 17 years, and she's Black. And her friends was like, okay, girl, I know you mad, but wait a second. Because just because you got a Black friend doesn't mean that you're off the top not racist. There are Black people who don't like Black people. There are Mexican people that don't like Mexican people. There are colorless people that don't like colorless people. You could be your own kind and not like your own kind. So I'm looking at Adriana. I'm like, this did not help. I get that you're so upset, but it's too much. I think in light, just to summarize the episode, in my opinion, Adriana tripping on being 59, but looking really good. Girl, relax. Kiki, stop being messy. Get a life and show us something different. As for Julia, you're always a victim, huh? You're always a victim, huh? Our president would love you, Julia. And as for the rest of them, they was just kind of there. I didn't care for it. Jesse said, hell, I'd be wretched here and there too. We all do. So I don't understand
it. Here's the thing. We all have moments of, inopportune ignorance of bliss. We all have that. So to sit up there and take such offense to something that is just, you know, probably explaining your behavior. It's not something for you to make this a racial thing where it's like, oh my gosh, you said I was this. Like, it would be one thing if she said you were aggressive. Then maybe I would probably take that a little bit like, yeah, because, that's not a nice word to throw, especially on television. But she just said ratchet. That's it. It's like,
Please move
ladies,
on. Please move
yeah,
on.
like, it's not that big of a deal. You probably worried, and with that cake, that's the proof that she needed. Because that's ratchet behavior. Because who the hell does that?
Yeah. Kiki was wrong. I don't like that she's trying to play it as something so small. You don't do that to someone on their birthday. Get your get back later. Jesse said Adriana did the wrong thing, but I swear I have 2 Black best friends, and if I was ever accused of being racist or whatever, I might pull them in too. Not the best way to handle, but racism is disgusting.
It
It's
is.
nice to be accused of racism. I can understand why people would feel that way, but I also think people have to understand the unintentional burden that could put on those Black friends.
Right. You have to be careful.
We fight enough battles daily having to experience it, so we don't want to then have to fight it for others, if that makes sense. But I get why Adriana would feel the need to do that. Sorry for the noise. But yeah, that was really it for this episode. Not a lot happened. That's why I'm like, why was it called The Art of Arguing? Because not a lot happened argument wise. I feel like the next episode would be better, but I'm excited to see. I think the next episode is the season finale. I hope, because 16 episodes.
Do you want me to do updates on the reunion looks for these ladies on my channel?
Those reunion looks were all tired. If you want, you can. I don't do looks and stuff, y'all. James does that on his channel. If you want, you can. I'll join, of course, but I didn't like anybody's reunion looks. They all looked like the picture we see here.
Yeah. Gertie did have that on, just in a different color.
Just the same dress, different color. I wasn't impressed.
I might have to.
This gonna sound a little mean. Housewives of Atlanta giving reunions. Potomac, they sometimes give reunions. I can't say Beverly Hills or Orange County.
No, Beverly Hills, they get better at the season than they do at the reunion. Like, I've seen lots of outfits that Kyle has had on during the season. I'm like, why won't you wear it into the reunion?
Kyle wears things she shouldn't wear in general, though. Jesse said, do the looks.
Okay, Jesse, you got to go on my channel, subscribe, love.
Adriana needs to pretty much put the drink down. Adriana, when she get drunk, she do crash out, though. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. It's funny, but she get drunk and you can tell something that's made her mad. She gonna come at you. But these ladies have been kind of douchey to her this season. She ain't really done much, but they've treated her like a rat inside of a house that just ain't supposed to be there. But y'all, we go head into Deb's house. I have fun with this live. I appreciate everybody for being here. Kevin Reynolds, Jesse, DM Rocks, and whoever else is watching but did not comment. You all matter. I appreciate you. You're why we do what we do. We hope you like the video. The link to James's channel, description of the video. We're gonna comment on Deb's house, and if you don't watch Deb's house, we'll be on James's channel tomorrow, I think, but I can't remember for
what. So we have Heart and Hustle Houston and Love and Marriage Huntsville on my channel tomorrow. So yes, if you guys love those shows, make sure you come in, because we need to have a discussion about Heart and Hustle with, our girl Labrina and her setting up that old ass man with that young ass lady. We need to cuss her out real quick. And then also, Love and Marriage Huntsville, it is the mid-season finale. So we definitely want to be here for that. Thank God, because I need a break from them. I just got back and I already need a break.
It's a singing competition show, Kevin Deb's house. But love it. If you like singing, it's kind of like Making the Band in 2025 minus some of the foolery.
Some of the foolishness, like Deb ain't sending them in 30-degree weather to go get a slice of cheesecake that's 5 miles away. She's not doing that.
Yeah, in this episode she did have them 30-degree weather, but
yes, but it wasn't. Yeah, but it wasn't for that. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He was crazy. But y'all, we love all of y'all. Thug Life. Shout out to our replay gang, and we'll see you next week for the finale. Adios.